APB, All Punks Bulletin. When you first met her, you knew better than to disrespect her, lying so you could get with her. 2 weeks later, caught you yelling at her, then you tripped and dissed her. Boy, you were disrespecting my sister. Not long after, you made the mistake of grabbing her in front of me. I saw it in her eyes, a silent plea, begging for someone to intervene, yet every time I did, she went right back, returning for another verbal attack. It was like you possessed some sick hold on her, and as much as I'd protest, she let you play ventriloquist with her emotions, coming back each and every time you'd beg. Can't you see? How bad does it have to be? You made her cry, yet hurting her you deny. You tried to get her to tell me to step, saying I was in the way of your relationship, while you proceeded to ruin her rep. But boy, she was and is not an object of your possession, just like you weren't her object of affection. You could never say things in front of me, 'cause boy, you knew never to cross me. But you were more ignorant than I thought, behind my back calling my sister out her name, that'll never be forgot. You gave her no respect, and her life you thought was yours to own and direct. Had her cut off almost completely, but boy, don't think you get rid of me that easily. I'll fight for her, and if that meant hurting you, don't think I would have hesitated to step to you. I'm wishing I never knew of you, but boy, I do, so watch yourself. Can't you see? I told you from the start. Possessive, obsessive, baby girl, he fits into the part. Except he's not playing. I fear for you from all the evil he's displaying. He wants you alone. He controls you by your beeper and the phone. He's not simply a bugaboo. He's a crazy, obsessed fool. When others started to ask, I had to admit that he might get violent with you. So I voiced it to you. But you kept saying you knew and he was through. Yet each and every time I asked, you admitted you got back together. I prayed you weren't serious, 'cause the very thought made me delirious. Can't you see? How bad does it have to be? The first time I saw you grab her, it was like you tried to stab her, and it'd gone straight to my heart, looking her mother in the face all the while flashing a smile when just seconds before you'd been violently shoving her daughter through a door. Boy, I kept telling you family will stay while boys pass away. Verbal, emotional, physical abuse, putting it on my sister, there is no excuse. You had her talking crazy, like she had love for you, but you had nothing to offer her with your being so lazy. Finally, she was able to step away, and eventually came a stronger day when she could look at you and see the same thing I saw, an abuser, now free of all your lies confusing her. The day I went with her to collect her things, I looked in your eyes and knew I'd won. It was no disguise. Can't you see? How bad does it have to be? Though people were all around, nobody saw him smash your confidence to the ground. It was always a silent, emotional tug-of-war. Yet if he was smart, he would have known real love pulls the weight. But nobody was there when he got you alone. My outspoken, confident sister was broken down to silence and confusion. Tears streaming down your face, he brought you to this. The family fights, straining up friendships and restless nights. All this time you drifted further from me. Although it took you a while to see, you knew I would never leave you, 'cause he don't deserve you. And to this and every other abuser, I have some words of advice. If you see me, you better take a detour and avoid me, 'cause I got you out on the APB, All Punks Bulletin, and if I find you, something vicious might come over me. Can't you see? How bad are you gonna let it be? The way he treats you just ain't right. Baby girl, try and walk away, and if you can't, I'll step up for you, 'cause your life is worth the fight.